there's spell pierces and dazes and all that kind of stuff, and you kind of know that's in your range. When you're playing against a non-blue deck, what is actually their range of disruption, how you sideboard against that?
Yep.
And Mindbreak Trap especially, because you just don't know. I mean, you just go for it, and maybe they have it, maybe they don't.
Yeah.
And having information, especially knowing that there's nothing like that to be worried about, a huge edge for Griffin here in the elimination rounds.
And a card that is at an all-time low right now is Mindbreak Trap. It is a pain in the butt for a Belcher deck to play against, but you know, if combo's not that prevalent, and some of the combo decks right now aren't, Mindbreak Trap isn't even good against them. Combo Elves, Storm isn't very good against Storm because they have so much discard. Dredge, which you can look at as a combo deck, but it uses its graveyard instead of building up a bunch of spells. Mindbreak Trap isn't really very good right now, so again, these little things, these subtle changes in the format have led to Belcher becoming a pretty good deck, at least for this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I played it. I had 4 in my sideboard at Grand Prix Denver,
Sure.
and I actually played, I believe, 12 rounds and never came close to touching them.
Sure.
I mean, I never ran into an opponent where that was a thing.
Sure.
I still like having Mindbreak Tracks on the sideboard, but you're right in terms of the decks it's good against, probably a pretty low point in terms of popularity.
So we do see both players looking over each other's deck list right now. Stay tuned after this game. We will be giving away 6 months of premium. Patrick will be asking you just a doozy of a question.
A whale of a pickle.
Yeah, best of luck answering that one, my friends. And once we do figure out who our recipient is, that person will be winning 6 months of Star City Games premium. So do stay tuned for that for after this game.
So Griffin also appears to be a Belcher aficionado from when I birded the match. Deck is mostly foiled out.
Yeah, my man.
Yeah, he's the game that Griffin won, the first game against Brian. He is like plays a foil land grant, reveals a hand of 7 foils.
Yeah,
That's
Brian,
obvious dead seas for Brian, and Brian just sort of chuckles. He's like, "Yep, all right,
I'm
dead."
Griffin and I are gonna have a little chat about the Belcher deck after this tournament.
Yep.
I'm a Belcher enthusiast myself. Played the deck for about 1.5 years before I switched over to Goblins finally. It's good to see the old Belcher get a little limelight. A lot of haters out there. A lot of haters.
I can appreciate the deck for what it is. I mean, I would not. I think that I could have fun playing it in one tournament and then never play it again. But I believe that it adds a lot of character to Legacy that it exists. It's always the time bomb, right? Like every time you sit down against your opponent, that's the first deck you're trying to size them up. Does this look like the kind of human being that would be playing with Goblin Char Belcher?
Yep.
That so
it got to the point for me where I kind of played it out of nowhere. I went to Philadelphia for a Star City when they were Star City 5Ks, not Open Series. This was like in 2009, I think. I met up with AJ Soccer out there. We decided to go to one, and I ended up playing Belcher because I want to have a little bit of fun.
I birded you in this tournament.
Were you there?
Yeah, I was rail birding you the whole time.
Of course you were. Man, I ended up making top 8 of that tournament. I was having the time of my life, and I started playing it more and more, and I won a couple tournaments with it. It's a lot of fun. People hate losing to it, get a little bit frustrated, and then people started putting me on it as a deck I was playing, and I wrote a couple articles about it for Star City. And then some people just started mulliganing the Force of Will when they sat down across from me. I was like, what if I was playing another deck? And well, I know you're not. I'm just like, this is stupid. I have to switch decks now because people are coming after me. And you see Owen taking a mulligan here, and it looks like Griffin has already kept, which, yeah, you can't feel too good about that.
Yeah, Owen revealed a hand that had 2 Thoughtseizes in it, but I believe 0 lands, so.
And Griffin is
taking a mulligan.
Griffin is taking a mulligan. I'll keep in mind here as well, Griffin is the 8th seed in this tournament, so he's on the draw.
Yep.
And that's actually going to be relevant, as those Thoughtseizes will be turned on for Owen as long as he can find one. He does have, again, 4 main deck Thoughtseizes as his way to interact on turn 1. Deathrite Shaman on turn 1, not really going to cut it.
So you've played a lot of Belcher, obviously. So when you mulligan with this deck, what does your range become? Clearly, when you're looking at 7 cards, you have to be looking for a hand that kills on the first turn, or maybe can kill on the second turn. Does your range open up a little bit when you mulligan to 6 cards? Because Belcher is about a saturation of rituals. You can't mulligan to 2 and win.
Yeah.
So what's the point where you call it, I know this hand's not good, I need to get a little bit lucky, but I simply can't mulligan any further?
I have to have a very good reason to go below 6 cards.
Okay.
I've never gone below 5 cards. I think I've only mulliganed a 5 with the deck once or twice. And that may have been incorrect because for the exact points that you've laid out, once you go below 6, it's hard to cobble together enough rituals to be able to do what you need to do. It's just really, really difficult because it is a saturation of rituals and you won't have a win condition in your hand. 6, you can still do it, especially when you're on the draw.
Yep. So both players have kept 6, and Owen, fortunately, looks like he has both a land and a Thoughtseize to start the action. So
I was going to boo, but I don't want to be biased.
Well, that ship has sailed. I mean, let's be honest with each other.
And it is a Thoughtseize.
Shows
Oh,
Gataxian.
this is a Belgian. You are not kidding. That is gorgeous. That is a beautiful deck. 2 copies of Lotus Petal, a Lion's Eye Diamond, a Pyretic Ritual, a Chromox, and a Gataxian Probe. And if Lion's Eye Diamond was foil, you best believe he'd have them.
Yep. So what are you taking out of this hand? Or what would you most be concerned about having removed from your hand here?
2, 3. Probe is a mystery card. Lion's Eye Diamond is one of the scarier cards, but it's only scary with Belcher.
Yep.
So I think personally I would have taken Gataxian Probe because that card can become anything. He is gonna get another draw step.
Sure. Yeah, but although he did have sufficient mana where if he draws Charbelcher, there is actually the threat of him dying.
He had 2 Petals, which is 2. Pyretic Ritual could bring him to 3. Yeah, and so yeah, I suppose that's true.
No, I mean I understand. I mean it's definitely one of those 2 cards, right?
Yeah.
Nothing else is really in
it's
question.
nothing else. Yeah, because the rituals are so redundant. There's no reason to take any of them. I think it's just going to pass the turn back. Verdant Catacombs to draw here, and you can see Owen's hand. He has a Bloodbraid Elf, he has a Tarmogoyf, and a Punishing Fire. Tarmogoyf's going to join the party here, and it's a 3/4 already.
And Griffin drew Burning Wish last turn.
So yeah, if the draw was Burning Wish on his turn, he would have been able to play LED, Burning Wish with the effect on the stack, crack it for mana. So
sure. Yeah. So we just got an insider tip here that Griffin actually has borrowed this deck from someone else. So this is actually his I believe possibly his first whirl with the deck. In fact.
Oh, I liked it better when I knew he was a Belcher enthusiast.
You thought that you two could sit down.
Yeah, we still may.
Like
Cup of coffee.
A couple lunatics talking about your.
Yeah, cup of coffee, talking about the turn 1 beatdowns.
And Owen's just drawn a very good one in Liliana the Veil. Now, we normally associate this card with being good against creatures, but again, Storm is about building up a saturation and just +1ing Liliana over and over again. Very powerful angle to take against Belcher.
Yep. Now, Griffin's going to make sure he does discard the correct cards here. One of the cards in his hand is a land grant. You see him sandbagging that, of course, because he wants to work his way towards a Storm Cloud. He also doesn't want to play his 1 Taiga and have it get wastelanded, because then it's like he did nothing.
Right.
So you see this is going to move up to 4. We're going to discard a Chromox, which is the one I thought he would discard there, as you don't want to imprint a card.
Yeah, especially when you're already being taxed by Liliana.
Yes.
Chromox is the hardest one to set up.
Yes. Take a draw step. Empty the Warrens looks like the draw. I believe that's an Empty the Warrens.
Yeah, that looks like empty. I think we can make some noise this turn.
Yeah. I think is it time to jam? Jam. Yeah, if he's casting spells, it's Empty the Warrens.
Yeah.
And here
we go. Yeah, this peach ain't getting any riper. You got it's time to go.
Land grant. I'm gonna show you an Empty the Warrens. See a Simian Spirit Guide there as well.
Is there anything that we can Burning Wish for in this process to up the storm count here, or?
Well, he's going to get 2 mana. Land Grant's going to add his 3rd mana. Pyretic Ritual's going to add his 4th mana, and Simian Spirit Guide going to add a 5th mana. So what he's going to want to do is he's going to play that Taiga, play the Pyretic Ritual. That'll be a spell count of 4. Empty would be the 5th spell. Hold on to the Simian Spirit Guide so it has something to discard to the Liliana the Veil, and then he'll be able to hold on to that Burning Wish just in case, something goes right. Burning Wish, I don't think he's ever going to be able to get to Goblin Warstrike, because Liliana's going to keep attacking his hand, but Simian Spirit Guide's not going to add to the storm count.
Sure.
Pyretic Ritual. So maybe he can keep one of those. Okay, so he can keep a Lotus. But yeah, he's just end up losing Burning Wish in the process. So there's your Empty the Warrens.
Okay.
Yep. So he's going to get. It's going to be a storm count of 5. It's going to be 10 goblins. But I think he's better off. It's fine because he's probably better off keeping the Lotus Petal.
Sure.
So let's see. Liliana's going to make him sacrifice a guy. So he's going to actually end up with 9 goblins. Second Tarmogoyf going to be coming to the party here. So this actually, ends up kind of working out okay, oddly enough, because if he's able to hold on to that Burning Wish, let's say he draws a Mana Source here, he can War Strike. That's a Desperate Ritual, yeah. So he can cast Desperate Ritual, Burning Wish, Goblin War Strike, put 9 upstairs, attack with the 9 goblins, get 7 of them through, and that's actually 16.
Okay.
So that'll be lethal as long as he sees it. And I think Griffin may. We'll bring Goblin War Strike up on the screen for you guys in just a moment here. It is, you guessed it. What set's it from? Go.
Goblin War Strike?
Yep, say it.
I don't know, Fallen Empires?
Scourge is the answer.
No
Scourge. Idea. Amateur. Hello, foil card. Boom, baby.
Yeah. So that's a 9 spot. And yeah,
that's a 7 spot, and that'll be game.
And even with Griffin having Mulligan and Owen having a very good opening, I mean, you can't script it any better than Thoughtseize, Tarmogoyf, Liliana. That's perfect.
Yeah, for game 1.
Yeah.
That's as good as it's going to get from his deck.
Right.
That's for sure. Cutting back to the booth here for you guys, Patrick. It's question time.
Yeah, and I have a good one.
Okay.
There's a Burning Wish target. You are unbearable sometimes. There's a Burning Wish target in our buddy Griffin's sideboard here. It's a good way of finishing off after you've emptied the Warrens.
Ah, yes, it is.
It's 1 mana from Scourge,
Yep.
not Fallen Empires.
Yep.
So hashtag SCG Premium.
Yeah.
Name that card, and the winner selected at random will receive 6 free months of Star City Games Premium.
Do you know the flavor text on this card?
No, I do not.
Ah, it's Fire Aim Ready.
I'm not the same. I don't have the same level of.
You gotta get on board. You gotta get on board with us in Belcherland.
Listen, I appreciate for what it is, even though my success rate against this deck in Sanctioned Magic is well below 0%.
Yeah, we love you. We love you, Burn Boy. Love to chop you up. Don't care if you have Mind Break traps. Taking a look at Owen's deck list. And I have it right here for you, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
What can he do to turn things around?
Well, 2 Duresses and 2 Pernicious Deeds. And Abrupt Decays, maybe a slight upgrade. I don't know. Like, do the Moxes ever hang out and play in this matchup, or is he just going all in one shot?
He's going all in one shot, especially when he knows that his opponent doesn't have Mind Break Trap. It's typically just going to be all in one shot, like we saw in that second game. You know, he will be disrupted a little bit, but it's all going to be just a big boom.
So all the stuff like Abrupt Decay and Ancient Grudge really doesn't work here, right?
Yeah, I mean, there are situations where it can work. They're few and far between. I mean, he certainly has enough bad cards that he might be able to get lucky and sideboard that in, where, you know, if you're under duress from a Liliana of the Veil, then you might want to consider putting some of your mana sources into play so that you can top deck a little bit better. But I'm sure you understand why Abrupt Decay would be poor here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe you can tag a Chrome Mox with the imprint on the stack.
Yeah, we're talking fringe scenarios.
Yes, yeah.
So you would identify the 3 Punishing Fires and the 3 Abrupt Decays, and maybe the Jit. Although Jits actually can be good if you empty out, right?
Yeah, Jit can actually be pretty good.
So we're talking basically 3 Punishing Fires and 3 Abrupt Decays as the cards that need to come out here. 2 Pernicious Deeds and 2 Duresses seem easy adds. 2 Ensnaring Bridge is way too slow. There's no way that's going to be a thing.
Yeah, it's way too slow. You're not going to get your hand empty enough. It's going to have to be in concert with Liliana the Veil to be able to get your hand empty enough because, again, the Empty the Warren tokens have 1 power. Mm-hmm. So it's just too hard.
Sure. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Surgical Extraction here. Yeah, he just doesn't have a lot of action. Pyroblast, Punching Fire, Choke. He doesn't have a lot of cards to bring in. So, yeah, I think he probably just has to leave in some stinkers and bring in his 2 Deeds and his 2 Duresses and hope for the best.
And Griffin's, you see his sideboard on the screen. It's Burning Wish targets, 4 Xanthous Swarms, 4 Pyroblast. Pyroblast and Xanthous Swarm not for this matchup. There are no Mind Break traps to be worried about. There are no Force of Wills, obviously, in the Jund deck. So he's going to keep his starting 60.
Yeah.
Just try to go to work again.
Right. Is there ever a scenario where you board in one of your Wish targets, or is that just it just never happens?
Yeah, it never happens.
I mean, it's happened in sort of some Cunning Wish decks.
Yeah.
We've seen it sometimes in High Tide because that deck has manipulation inside of the deck and wishes. So sometimes you're juggling around what ratios of stuff you want in your main deck versus your sideboard. But Belcher doesn't work that way. It's just these are just tutor targets. You're not going to bring in one Miser's Whole Breach or whatever in some matchup.
Unless you're feeling frisky. I think that's
pretty frisky.
I think that's the only way that you're able to do that one.
And print it on a Chrome Mox.
Yeah.
Everything's red and green.
That's right.
Yeah. For sure. So, Owen needs a lot of help here.
Yeah, Owen got his ideal start that last game. You know, he does have a couple of cards that are going to help him. Obviously, nothing major here. But again, it's not impossible. It is not impossible. I lost to John at Grand Prix Denver.
Sure, he can just open with Thoughtseize him.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, that's an excellent opening.
My opponent opened it with Thoughtseize into him and the Liliana, and I just didn't cobble together anything. So it's not impossible to do, as you do see a Duress and a Pernicious Deed. So Pernicious Deed, a nice little hedge against the Empty the Warrens, and Duress a good way to start things. And Owen's going to keep, so a 7 must be good enough.
Yep.
If he has a Tarmogoyf in there as well, it's could get a little bit ugly.
Surprising for a deck without Forcible or much in the ways of resistance. Owen's actually got some meaningful cards, you know?
Yeah.
Belcher definitely has the stigma of you're either playing Forcible or you're dead. And there's actually a middle ground here.
Yeah.
And these Jund decks that are also in the semifinals they have a varying range of quality in this matchup.
We're going to leave with the Duress or Thoughtseize? He's going to leave with Thoughtseize. So we're going to see a Seething Song, Rite of Flame, a Simian Spirit Guide, a Desperate Ritual.
Oh, the old Taiga Land Grant combo.
And the old Taiga Land Grant combo. Yeah, that one's a little bit frustrating. It's no fun for anyone.
And now with that Empty of the Warrens out of there, this is an eminently beatable hand for Owen.
Nope. I mean, he's just trying to dodge bullets now. That's it.
Charbelcher being obviously the biggest one, as he has Pernicious Deed to cover against Empty of the Warrens.
Yeah. Griffin was on a 10-outer there as far as win conditions go. I'm not sure if Burning Wish is actually going to get it done at that point. I think he can get up to 4 mana. We're going to see a Deathrite Shaman and a Duress. So the draw was a Desperate Ritual. So taking a look here, if I am Owen, I want to take out the one that makes the most mana. If you cut the Seething Song, he can generate 1, 2, 3, 4. It can get up to 5 mana, potentially 6 with the splicing of Desperate Ritual. Draw step there for Griffin.
Another Simian Spirit Guide. Just has to hold down the fort here for a little bit, right?
Yeah, just hold him steady and pass him back. Swamp the draw for Owen, and there is a Liliana over there.
Although since he has Land Grant in hand, the first one's pretty much free.
Yeah, this one's an easy one. You can see he couldn't discard it fast enough.
And Griffin's almost close to having to discard for cards in hand anyway because he's trying to build up. So Liliana actually isn't too meaningful just yet.
Yeah. Over Spirit Guide to draw Abrupt Decay and Pernicious Deed here. You do see Pernicious Deed, so Empty the Warrens is much worse now. Abrupt Decay going to go to the bin. Deathrite Shaman going to come across momentarily. Griffin needs to decide what he wants to discard. And in this situation, you're probably going to want to discard those Spirit Guides just because they don't add to the spell count.
Yep.
But again, the spell count isn't horribly relevant now because there is Pernicious Deed in play.
Another Land Grant, but again, Liliana, this is just fine.
Yep.
Griffin's not under any pressure. That has just changed.
Yeah. Liliana going to tick up to 6. Land Grant is going to bite the dust, and you see Deathrite Shaman just staying untapped, ready to remove something.
But Charbelcher is just, it's lethal at this point, right?
Yeah. Yeah. As long as he can get the, I mean, the thing is he doesn't even, actually he does need to get to 7 in 1 turn, because if he does play just Charbelcher naked and waiting to go off, Owen can get up to 4 mana to blow his Pernicious Deed. It will kill all of the things, but I mean, it makes it so he doesn't die, so I think he's willing to make that trade. You see Liliana ticking up, discarding its own Liliana, discarding a Desperate Ritual. And across is going to come Tarmogoyf. We'll put the Tarmogoyf die out there for you guys to see how big it is, but you do see Planeswalker in the graveyard.
I would guess 5?
Among others.
Creature, instant, land, sorcery, Planeswalker.
It does look to be
5, yeah.
Lion's Eye Diamond.
And now Charbelcher is certainly lethal.
Yeah. It's just got to be Belcher. That's how it works now. Empty shut off. Burning Wish is shut off for the most part, depending on how much mana he can make. I don't think he can go through the Burning Wish Infernal Tutor back door.
Sure.
Yeah. It's more like the doggy door.
See, I can get behind this. This is like waiting to peel Fire Blast or something.
Yeah, you're familiar with
it's
this.
kind of the same thing.
Here comes Tarmogoyf. Here comes Tarmogoyf. Grove.
All right.
Take it up.
Here we go. I'm excited. I'm actually excited. I'm invested in what's in this draw step now.
If it has to be tonight.
Here it goes. The slow reveal.
Yeah.
Ah,
Elvish
another
Spirit
Gray
Guide.
Ogre.
And I think he's going to.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can let it go.
It's all right. We didn't get there.
It's fine. You know, he was on the draw. You got Thoughtseize and Duress. He had plenty of draw steps. It's okay. That's why you're on the play. No force of will.
Yeah, see,
Mind break out.
this is
Yeah.
where it gets a little bit ugly.
Yeah.
Any reasonable 7 here could spell game over here
Right.
for Owen. But
And
Belcher is a deck that can mulligan. It only does have, again, 11 win conditions, and you know some of them get a little weird. Burning Wish requires a little bit more mana. You need Seething Song or Lion's Eye Diamond to make that one great. There are situations where you can just play Goblin Char Belcher naked and hoping to draw into an LED or something like that, or another ritual, and then Thoughtseize and Duress kind of break that up. So it's not a lock that Griffin's going to kill Owen on turn 1.
No. But at least he has confidence in the fact that he can just open on Char Belcher, and there's actually no way for him to break it up.
Yeah.
Like he can play it on the board and not
Yes.
worry about a random naturalize or crows and grip type of thing happening. He's in the clear.
Yeah.
So
You know, unless I believe there are Ancient Grudges over there. Is there an Ancient? There's one Ancient Grudge.
Yeah,
So
and-
if Owen does bring that card in,
yeah.
which would be a little bit surprising.
But again, you know, Owen's got plenty of cards in his main deck that just aren't very good here, and
Yeah.
so he might have brought in some stuff in hope that, you know, things broke the right way. He could get a little lucky. And I'm a little bit disconcerted that we don't have an update from the other semifinal match, because the Punishing John Mirror is known to be a little bit on the grindy side.
It's
So,
super grindy.
It's possible. It is possible we are in game 1 still.
Game 1, turn 8.
2 Tarmogoyfs staring at each other.
Punching fires going back and forth.
Yeah.
You have some life. No, no, no.
You're too kind.
You're
too kind.
You have some life.
I wanted to be you.
So we do see both players shuffling up here for game 3. Hopefully we will have some sort of results, see where Brian Brondewan and Tony Chu are at, but you're probably right.
They're probably
are
both
game
at
1.
above 20.
Yeah.
If I had to wager a guess where they were at.
Yeah. Who's it gonna be?
Yeah.
Who's it
And
gonna be?
now Owen's just at. Now if you're in a seat, I've been in this seat before, where you're on the draw with no free hate, and you're just like, all right, well, I can do nothing but hope.
I've been in Griffin's seat before.
Yeah.
The view on the high horse is nice.
All right, here we go.
All right, can you count to 7? Takes a look. I think I see multiple LEDs there, which is
Yeah.
a little bit dangerous. See a Lotus Petal.
A Gataxian Probe.
Oh,
It looks like.
Oh no. Oh no. All right, I
Ooh,
don't
we're
know.
gonna keep in.
Is this
see
the
what's
Hope
in,
Gataxian Probe?
See what's inside the mystery box.
Is this the hope the Gataxian Probe gets there, Han? I think this is. Oh no, we can.
Does he have the discipline to lay it down?
Does
All
that
right.
Keep.
I'm excited.
All right, Gataxian Probe. You.
Let's see what's up.
Owen, what do you have? Owen's gonna show his hand.
Thoughtseize, Duress, 2 Deathrite Shamans, and 3 lands.
That's a good.
Perfect hand again, sure.
It's a good hand for being.
It's gonna have to be a good Gataxian Probe right here. You see, already got the Storm die up.
Oh, a Spirit Guide. I don't think he has a win condition.
No. Oh, it doesn't look like it.
LED.
Oh, he's playing out everything he must.
Oh no.
And Owen's actually just drawn Abrupt Decay, so he's actually going to get to potentially Abrupt Decay and LED. Not that that matters too much, because you really only need the one.
Yeah, you only do need the one. Update really quickly. We thought they might be at above 20 life, but we were wrong. Tony Chu has dispatched Brian Brondewan 2-0. So Tony Chu's going to see who he's playing against. He's playing against Charbelcher, or is he going to be playing against Punishing John by Owen? As you do see Griffin's hand, a Elvish Spirit Guide, Lotus Petal, Pyretic Ritual, Timberwall, and a Seething Song.
So you can't cut him off of green, and because you can't cut him off of green, you cannot cut him off of red. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Because Elvish Spirit Guide, Elvis Spirit Guide can get Tinderwall. Neither of those can be duressed. And then Tinderwall makes red, and so you have red mana.
If I am Owen, 1, 2, 3. I think the card. Okay, so he takes a Lotus Petal. 1 up to 2, up to 3, up to 5. He draws a Belcher this turn. What do you draw?
Taxiing Probe.
Ah, mystery box number 2. Yeah, it certainly could be anything.
Could be anything.
Draw a card.
Go!
Okay.
Oh!
Okay. And he can actually get up. See, the reason. Okay, so taking the seed this one doesn't do it.
2, 3. Yeah, 2, 3 to 5.
Yep. So Spirit Guide, Timberwall. He's going to sacrifice Timberwall, go up to 2 red. This is going to put him up to 3 red. 3 red's going to put him up to 5 red. Belcher's going to come into play. LED's going to get active. And now,
well, see,
Owen,
and now
it's
the
not
backup.
over.
Yeah,
it's not over. He can hit the Taiga.
and he has Abrupt Decay to get the other Belcher if he hits the Taiga.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ball. That's it. Taiga doubles it.
Hadouken! Yeah.
Yeah. Please stop. Please stop revealing cards.
What's in the mystery box? It could be anything.
Yeah. Even a Belcher.
Yeah, and it's actually really significant that he kills that turn because Owen ripped Abrupt Decay.
Yep.
If Griffin doesn't kill, then the Lion's Eye Diamond gets Abrupt Decay, and now he needs to find 3 mana somehow.
Yes.